All right. So this is going to be one of 3 Mugen reviews going up tonight, which is part of the Solano edition and modifications of it as well. So I wanted to sort of start off with the base one, so you guys can actually check it out. All right. So let's go and check out the roster. Okay. So it is pretty big, right? This really does feel like, and it is obviously done in that manner, a trilogy style, but just with a whole bunch of extra characters and whatnot. Now, as far as like guest characters go, they're still in the MK realm, so that's good. There's no additional like outside of Mortal Kombat universe style characters, which is really nice, right? And it works really well. Now, the only downside, naturally, of course, is that the characters are quite large. Like, they're pretty massive, right? So obviously, like, that's you know, that's because they haven't sort of resized the sprites down, or it was done on purpose. Like, it can happen. And we've got 125 stages in here, which is pretty cool, right? So this is a really good Mugen Mortal Kombat version. Tons of stages, tons of characters, but like I said, it keeps it within the MK realm, so that way, you know, we're not, you know, like the other ones that I'm going to be reviewing after this start to go down that road, and that's where I sort of, and I've talked about this before, where it's like, well, I like to have an authentic Mugen project, so something like this, which is like, you know, it's got a very specific goal. Only MK characters, but we're going to introduce some that are from, you know, maybe characters that only ever showed up in like cutscenes in, say, MK mythologies, Sub-Zero, or, you know, characters that might have appeared in like a Conquest TV series, or in the MK 90s cartoon comics strip. So they'll put them in, you know, in that way. And I like that. I think that's pretty cool. And then, of course, you got other ones where they go, yeah, we'll give you this, and then we're just going to start going crazy and see how these characters shape up against certain other characters that may or may not fit. You know, like how they do with guest characters with actual MK games, which I've talked about before. Cannot stand guest characters in Mortal Kombat games. You know, it takes up an MK character that could be there instead, right? So let's choose. We got some Tremor action here. Who else we got? We got this. So this guy here, he's from MK Mythologies. He's the head of the Lin Kuei, right? So that's groovy. Tremor, they always do this. Tremor looks like I know they're making him look like Stone, but he actually looks like he's zombified, you know. So, and in some respects, the Mugen version of Tremor actually has a better moveset than what was actually depicted in MK10. So MK10 is just sort of, yeah, you know. So looking at the UI, it's kind of crisp, you know. It's getting a little stale. Like the health bars, there's a little bit of that classic. You know, if you go back and play, you know, classic MK games, it's obviously got that very slight pixelization to it. So it's got that same here. You get a win with the dragon symbol, which is nice. But one of the cool things about these projects is that we get to see a lot of there's Serena and I think maybe Sang in the background fighting, possibly on the bridge, maybe. So yeah, you get to see a lot of really cool. We'll go simultaneous mode. We'll go random for both, so that way it just keeps it nice and fresh. There we go, random all round. Who we got? Oh, okay, 2 Reikos, Chameleon, and Jarrett. Awesome. So you get to see some really cool backgrounds, like you know, sort of like fan-made ones, obviously, but also like their sort of vision of a background. It's like, well, I really like the pit too, but what if we added more sort of, you know, clouds or maybe a storm or something like that? And when MK9 came out, the pit 2 from memory, actually had like molten lava sort of coming out of the top of the volcano in the background, and I think it was spitting like, you know, lava bombs everywhere. So that's one of the cool things too. It's why I love Mugen games, because you just get really surprised by, you know, some of the content that's actually being made, which is awesome. So I like the fact in the simultaneous mode they both get their own health bar. Some games when they do that, they don't do that, which is a pain. So I like that, and also they get their own run meter as well, and it has breakers. So if you, there's actually a breaker there that I'm just showing you there. So that's in the game too. They actually whooped the poo-poo out of them. Let's try again. Let's see who we get this time. Alright, we got Liu Kang, Chameleon versus Smoke and Sub-Zero with the nighttime stage of the courtyard, which is cool. Simultaneous mode, by the way, in Mugen is just bat poo crazy. Like, it's so good, right? It's so good. That's a strong team. That's a really strong team. I like that. So I do apologize just because I haven't done much lately. I've just had some stuff going on the reel. But I wanna thank, just those that watch this video. I want to thank everyone. We hit over 600 subscribers on this channel. That's crazy, man. I can't believe that. I love talking about fighting games. So, you know, like every single person that subscribes, it's just increasing the size of the brother and sisterhood of fighters, right? So we're all in it. We're all in it together. But that's why, like I was talking about in a previous video, why I like having, you know, not just coverage of, say, like modern fighting games and stuff, also looking at classic fighting games, and of course the Mugen community with their massive amount of games that they have available that we can just, you know, have a ball at, and they're all free. Like, these are all free, so it's very cool that we have these available, and I hope that, you know, more and more people, you know, get exposed to this and realize that, you know, you can certainly branch out into the fighting game world, and maybe even start, you know, editing and you know, creating or adding your own characters, stages, that sort of stuff, and come up with your own project. Obviously, when you do make a project built off the back of other people's, like the MK project, you give credit where credit is due, naturally. But it's such a wonderful community that is just, you know, a given, and it's good that it's always been that way, unless it hasn't, but so far, in my experience, it seems to have been. So now we got classic Liu and Scarlet versus Liu Kang again and Reptile. That's interesting, right? And look at this stage, amazing. I think it's, I'm assuming it's doing it based on the ship stage from Deception. You know, the one where you start off kind of at the back of the ship, and you can knock each other down onto the lower sort of deck inside, and there's like hanging bodies by their neck and stuff. You can bump into them. I'm wondering if it's that. I'm wondering if this is this, like somebody's made a stage based on that. It kind of looks like it because you've got some broken rope. So unless there were bodies there in the beginning, I didn't even take notice, and they just got knocked off through the course of it. But no, I don't think there were. Anyway, that's fine. So so that's the Mortal Kombat Solano Edition 3.1. Post a link in the description for you guys to go check it out, and look out for the next couple of videos backed off of this wonderful rendition. See you later.